in my lounger and ready to roll.
All right, folks.
Awesome, Sparky.
Yeehaw. Welcome to the podcast. All right. Hey,
Sparky might have to do my end of it this evening.
if you're running late to the podcast, it's recorded. You can watch it anytime you want to. It's also on Spotify, and right now we're having problems with Facebook. It is not on Facebook right now, but I am going to be copying a link here. Let me find it right here, and I'll push it into the Facebook page.
And Facebook, you said YouTube.
I said Facebook. I said I'll go to YouTube and copy it here real quick. All right. There. See, I'm just making sure we got it live there. Anyway, we got lots of things to talk about. One we're going to talk about tonight, folks, is Vroom. I think that's how you say it. I don't know. Maybe one of these days we'll get him on the podcast. Who knows?
Hey,
but
that'd be cool.
let me paste this link to Facebook and get this thing showing up on Facebook so people can see it. And no, we don't need to boost it. We just need to get going here. All right. So a couple topics tonight we were going to talk about is fall riding season, probably the best time of the year. Now, Florida people, it's not yet. It's getting close. But us, man, the last 2 weeks, it's been very freaking unbelievable weather. So I think winter's going to be coming early this year. And hopefully when we go down to October, it is not winter by then. But you never know. Riding Fish is in the house. Welcome to the podcast. I'm going to give you some, here we go, Connie. There's the comments. Let me see if I can get these in here. So anyway, let's welcome these people in here. Riding Fish, welcome to the podcast. Loved your last video. I'm still, I know you got another one coming, but I'm still watching that one today because I had to pause it for a second and I had a phone call. But that exhaust on that freaking Scout looks freaking awesome from Ride Culture. Not Ride Culture, but it's from Torch exhaust, but it was on Ride Culture's 101 Indian. Sparky, welcome to the podcast. Our Indian Adventures. Hey, welcome to the podcast. Vroom, like the sound. What I thought. Isn't Vroom. Yeah. I guess. Vroom.
Vroom, or is it Vroom?
Vroom. I think it's.
Yes. Yes, it
Either
is.
way, they need some money.
Oh my gosh. Hey, Sparky, my wife was just down, and Les's wife was just down in Florida, and what was that?
Fort Myers.
Fort Myers.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
They were down there. They went to Bert's Indian.
Bert's blue or black pearl.
Yeah.
Excuse me,
Black
pearl.
Pearl. You can't
Yeah.
get it right. You trying to talk to me?
I'm still delayed like our flight was, man.
Oh yeah, we got some crazy stories about that.
I'm 2 hours
yeah.
behind, like the flight, right, Les?
All right, so
Yeah.
let's get started with this story here and get this off and running.
There's Gator Mike.
Gator
too.
Mike, welcome to the podcast. A couple things. I did get my screens fixed tonight, so they should be working. So let's go with our friends. Let's go with that one first. All right, folks. Our friends. These are the guys that kind of support us as much as we possibly can. They can. Gator Mike, which is in the house. Ride Culture, which is sometimes watching a podcast. He's usually working very hard, so I understand that. BC Custom. Bob's from BC Customs. We actually, I don't know if he got a sell from it, but we actually had somebody hit our website and sent the form to Bob, and I guess they might have been talking. So maybe he sold a pair of levers from our website. So hopefully that worked. I think that's cool that we do that. Gator Mike is going to be, we're going to have some of his stuff on the website, links to his stuff once he gives me some pictures. I guess I got pretty much all his stuff now. I could probably make my own pictures. I just thought about that, actually. So I could probably do that and help you out. And then Ride Culture is the people that gave us all this stuff, and also Gator Mike and BC Customs. But there's about, I keep on saying $700 to $800 worth of bike add-ons. And I always, you know what I need to do?
What do you need to do?
I need to make an info commercial for this. I mean, really, is I need to just play the video. That way I don't mess up, and it's, gives everybody their due for helping us out. But anyway.
That's a great idea. If you had a tech guy, Chris, you could have had that done by now.
I know.
Yes.
Bryant M1 bag lights. Okay. We got some Charlie Chaplin footrests for the passenger. All right. And last time, if you want to know where Max is,
Yeah, we're missing Max.
yeah, he's out right now. He'll be back next week. I was told not to say anything. Anyway, Charlie Chaplin comfort pegs mount.
Chappa.
Charles Chappa.
Charles
Chappa. And there's I keep
Lord.
on saying Charlie. It's a dyslexia, you know. So.
No, you're used to that like cartoon Charles Chaplin or whatever that Chaplin guy was.
And look at this right here. Floorboards. Okay. Now these are for an Indian motorcycle, but I mean, if you win it, you know, when we get to 1,000 subscribers, you can do whatever you want to do with it. All right. And then we got all this Gator mic stuff. All right. So we got sauces and stuff like that. You're gonna be winning one of these. You're gonna be winning this. I always get these labels messed up. Look at the Gator. There you go.
It's opposite.
Yeah. All kinds of stuff. Barbecue sauce. I mean, look at that. Everything's good at Gator Mike's. All right. So that's
Gator
enough.
Mike sent us a spice, a new spice to try.
Oh yeah, and we've been using it. And hey, I'll give you a thumbs up. 100%. It was great. All right, so that's our friends right there. I got my name. Let's see if I can send this to the back a little bit, or just raise it up because that's going to interfere with all my little things here. All right, what kind of comments we got here? Let's see here. All right. We got anything in here? Looks like nobody's really talking anything. Get your mics and ride culture. Let's go. Yeah. All right. Next one is Folds of Honor. As you guys know, we do have a link there from Folds of Honor. And that Folds of Honor ride is coming up next month. I think it's or is it September this month?
It's this month.
Yeah. Time. Hey, has anybody realized how fast time's going? I mean, it's going like so much faster than normal. And I actually was watching a video today on YouTube, or actually I was going to watch it. I'm going to see if I can find it. A lot of people are experiencing the same thing. Like time just seems to be, I mean, even though, you know, everybody's clock is in sync, it just seems like seconds are faster, minutes are faster, hours are faster, days and years are faster. And is it just because we're getting older, or is it something in our reality that's changed, like the Matrix or something? What do you think, Les?
I think you've been sitting in the garage with your bike running and the door closed.
Too much. I tell you what it is.
Breathing exhaust. That's what I think.
I'll tell you what it is. It's Gator Mike's soap I've been washing my bike with, and it smells so good. It's affecting my brain. I gotta ask you a question. If the soap smells good, does that make you want to wash your bike longer?
No.
It's a good question. I don't know, but it smells good. That's the one we're giving away. The other one I'm using upstairs. So, all right, what do we got here? Let's face it, Chris. As we get older, time slips by faster. Exactly, just like a bad clutch. You know.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. Da-da-da.
Yeah. All right.
Gator Mike said, did I send you the bike wash and quick detailer?
No, some of this came from Ride Culture. Ride Culture. Some of this stuff came from Ride Culture. He gave us a box with some stuff. I don't know. There's stuff still in a box upstairs. I don't know.
I thought all that was out of his box.
I think this is from. I thought maybe this is from you. Okay, and this is from you because this is the original box.
Okay.
Yeah. So I brought that down from downstairs when we started doing this podcast, the giveaway. So these are the original bottles that came from Gator Mike. And then Ride Culture sent us a bunch of stuff after that. Hey, Jeffrey, how are you doing? I can't wait to go to Chattanooga, Tennessee in October, man. I can't wait, man. It's going to be great.
You kind of said it right.
I kind of said it right. I'm doing it really slow so you can pick on me.
Okay.
All right. So anyway, I got this shirt. And you know what? I'm going to reach out to, what's the guy's name?
Birds.
Bert. Yeah. And there's a guy that works there. What's his name? Grandpa?
Oh.
Or whatever it is.
Help me out here, Sparky. Sparky knows.
Yeah, Sparky probably knows. I'm going to reach out to him and see if we can get him on the podcast. He looks like a hoot. Yeah.
I don't know. I got RE, the service advisor's card.
Ree.
Oh, yeah?
Was that
That's
who it was?
Ree.
Okay.
Yeah,
And she met a lot of them.
I
Yeah.
met Sarah.
Oh.
And
Who else did I meet? Jenny.
Jenny. Okay. So you read a lot. So this is like the coolest Indian dealership that I've never been to. We can only say, I mean, that the women said it was the best. Okay. That they've ever been to. We've never been there. So, you know how women are. They probably found a bunch of freaking clothing and stuff like that. Right.
Well, yeah.
So that's
Uncle Daddy. They said.
Uncle Daddy. That's
what it
right.
is?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Uncle Daddy. Yeah. So I want to reach out to him and see what he's got his own podcast, actually. Uncle Daddy Show or whatever it's called.
Yeah.
Anyway. All right. So if you are new to the podcast, go ahead and like and subscribe to the podcast. We do this every Tuesday night and we have a hoot at a time. Sometimes we have Max here, which he's out right now. He'll be back next week. And I'm not allowed to say where he's at, but yeah, you guys can guess.
Is it jail?
You know what? We could make a story. So here we go. So Max was about to get on an airplane with the wives because he wanted to be the bodyguard. And when he went to the airport, he had a metal plate that was acting up, and he just he couldn't go through the metal detectors. So he just kept on complaining and that kind of stuff. He had to go, so he missed his flight. Well, he got really aggravated and everything else, and next thing you know, they put him in handcuffs and took him to jail. So now Max is waiting for us to bail him out, but we don't have enough funds yet, so we're looking for more subscribers on the website.
I heard that he had a rifle pocket knife in his pocket, and they busted him for that.
That's probably what it is.
I think that is. I think we just got the clean version, not the correct version.
Yeah. All right. So on the left side of the screen or right side, I can't remember. I'm not looking at it really there. So it looks right side. Okay. So this guy right here is Vroom, I guess, whatever it is. But anyway, this guy has an incredible story. I was asked by a couple of friends to mention this tonight. So I will go ahead to do that before we get into the main focus of what we're actually doing is fall weather riding. And then I'm lining up some guests, so it's going to work out. Hopefully we will. I'm finalizing some time spots right now for October, so it's going to be exciting. So just stay around. As a matter of fact, the location of Birch Pearl is the old location of Sue's Indian in Fort Myers, and also owned. So they own 2 Indian dealerships and 2 Harley-Davidson dealerships, and I guess they just bought another one. I don't know if it was a Harley dealership or as it was a Indian dealership, but he's growing. And if you watch some of his videos, you know what? We'll go over this. We'll go over this first because I get this like fly on the wall kind of thing, and I kind of change paths.
Yeah,
let's refocus. We'll talk about that here in a second, Sparky.
Refocus.
All right, so this is the fundraiser. The guy was looking for $125,000. Indian Motorcycles gave him a brand new 2024 Indian Challenger to do this. He had a bunch of luggage extensions. He had an external gas tank put on. I mean, a bunch of stuff. I mean, I wish you guys could see the bike. If I can get a picture of the bike, I will. So, Connie, you got more information about this so I can look for the bike real quick? I asked you to look it up. I gave you the link. It's in your chat.
I looked it up.
Okay, well, she did a good job, folks.
Yeah.
She's still in Florida. Hopefully, she'll be home soon. It's like luggage, you never know when you're gonna get your luggage when it gets lost. That's what happened with her. But anyway, we'll talk about that story in a minute. But all right, let me look it up. Let me get his bike here. But this is a good cause.
Yes, they're raising funds to support the. I hope I don't butcher this. Myotonic Dystrophy Foundation, MDF for short. So let me see. It's dedicated to improving the lives of those impacted by this rare disease. So they were trying to raise enough funds to help with that. They said it's close to their heart, so I don't know exactly the details, but they were very,
Yeah. Looks like Ryan Fish is going to send me some pictures in a minute. And
oh, cool.
So, but yeah, it's going to be it's a good cause. But some of the things that kind of, because I just found out about this about 4 weeks ago. I think, Les, it was about the same time you did. And it was just kind of a little, 125 days is a lot. All right. And for raising $41,000, we need to help this guy out. You know, this guy was looking for about 125,000. I think I would be happy for 75,000 or maybe closer to 80. So share this story as much as you can. I know $20, $50. I know right now if you donate by I think midnight tonight, you have a chance to winning a Latitude. Let's see, one entry for $50. $90 you get two entries, and basically it's a giveaway that he's going to be doing. Premium adventure gear. Want to score a KLIM gear in a exclusive giveaway. I'm trying to figure out what it is. Where's the stuff at? Winners will be announced. Finalists. Score. Awesome. It doesn't really tell you. Oh, it says KMO gear. I wish it would tell us what we're actually going to win. It says Latitude set, and I don't know. We'll figure it out as we go through here. What were you going to say? 2 videos?
Jeff said that he has family affected.
Okay, family affected.
And Kevin said it is a good cause.
Mm-hmm.
Writing Fish said there's 2 videos.
Yeah. So let me see if I can get the video.
Thanks, guys.
Is there any on YouTube? Because Facebook is kind of a little bit harder to play, but let me see.
Well, you know, while you're looking, you got to mention what the guy did. You know, 125,000 miles.
Let me see if I can mute this real quick. All right. What were you saying?
125,000 miles in 125 days.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I've been riding quite a lot the last couple of months, you know, just about 5,400 miles. And this guy did this in 5 days, what took me 2 months, to put that in perspective. You know, that's phenomenal. That's just, I don't know how you ride that much. I'd run out of roads.
I tell you, you're probably right. Let me see if I can move this over to the next screen. And
it looks like they've raised $41,543.
Yeah, basically. And let me see if I can get. I probably have to sign in to Facebook because they probably won't let me see this. That's what the problem with some of this stuff is. Yeah, it's just gonna let me.
Sparky said KLIM writing here. Is that what you meant?
Yeah. So it's gonna. Yeah, it's not gonna let me see the videos. Let me see if I can find another way of doing this real quick. You have access to a new message. So let's see what this is. All right. Let me see if I can find it, the video by itself, because I can't actually show. Well, actually, Riding Fish sent me a video here, so let me see if I can put it in here. All right. Let me.
You know, I mean, the guy's cranking out 1,000 miles a day.
Mm-hmm.
You know, now you think about that. 1,000 miles a day. Now, I've not done 1,000 in a day. I've done 900 and change before.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, that's a lot. But you got to think too. In 125 days and that many miles, he's had at least 25 or 26 oil changes. I'm guessing if he did the 5,000 mile recommended oil change, right? Maybe he went further. I don't know, but it's like 25, 26 oil changes alone. So the amount of time that takes, you have to take out of that travel time.
Yeah.
You're looking at probably 13 or 14 rear tires in that amount of time. And probably, you know, somewhere from 8 to 10 front tires if he didn't change them both at the same time. So, you know, just put that all into perspective, the amount of time he had to spend getting the bike service, getting tires put on it, that kind of thing, and the other kind of problems that he had. And then to be able to turn that many miles, my guess is he probably turned 11, 1,200 miles some days.
Mm-hmm.
Not just 1,000, right?
Yeah, probably so. I want to see if I can get this screen to come on here, and I'll see what I can do here. Here
Jeff
we go.
said he just posted a link for you, Chris.
All right, he just posted a link. Cool. All right. Let's see if I can get.
Yeah, because it is definitely a good cause.
Yeah. All right. Like I said, I wasn't ready for this tonight to do this.
This was a last minute ad.
Yeah, just a last minute ad. So that's the reason why we're having difficulties to getting this straightened out. So let me see if I can get this going here. All right. But anyway, here's the video of his bike. And he said he sent me did you send me a text message or did you just put in a chat? I don't know.
So he just posted a link. That's what it says.
Oh, just posted a link. So it's probably in the chat here. Let me see if I can get this thing to go. There we go. Why is it? I don't understand why he's doing this. We're gonna have to go enlarge on this thing here. Now let's move this over to this different screen here. Action, creative, icon, Google Chrome, Facebook. There we go. All right, so this is this video right here, and
this is the end of it, right? Where
yeah,
you
this is it. Yeah, he actually he dropped his bike on the opposite side of the kickstand, and then these guys pick it up.
Well, he said he did it on purpose. I thought somebody said.
Oh, he probably did.
Yeah.
And I guess when he came in, you know, when you're riding that long and you broke your shoulder blade and everything else, got pushed over by a semi when he was looking at his motorcycle. I mean, this guy went through a ton of stuff. Unbelievable. His wife's right there. I mean, it's unbelievable all the stuff that this guy went through, you know. But to go through this and really only making, you know, 41,000 K for 125 days, there should have been more. I mean, it was heating up the last couple of weeks, but it should have been at the beginning. I mean, this guy was going to every Indian dealership. Indian should have had some kind of thing. Hey, listen, VRoom's going to be at this dealership, or he's going to be this, and kind of hyping this up a little bit. And I'm not saying Indian is at fault some of this, but they did give him a motorcycle. All right. But the deal is, man, you could have did so much more, and it's almost free, you know? I mean, it could have cost you a little bit, but I mean, it did cost you a motorcycle, I guess. But
it's free advertisement, though.
Free advertisement, and it's a chance of a lifetime. I mean, back this guy up. And I don't know who gave him the motorcycle. Maybe it was Indian Motorcycle Corporate. Who knows? Or it was a dealership that donated it. And that could be a different, you know, story altogether. A reason why they didn't do this and didn't do that. So, and there's also legal stuff that they got to go through. And maybe this was just I think it just came up, and it came up as a good idea. He pitched it, and they just didn't have enough time to do some marketing stuff for it. So, and there's all kinds of stuff. I'm not going to say anybody's at fault, but I mean, this is a good cause, and I'm going to be supporting it. I'm going to be donating tonight after I get done with this podcast. And I'm definitely not going to give you guys my information on the, but you know what I mean. But yeah, I promise you, I'll show you guys that I did donate. You guys will see my name on their website once I donate tonight. So.
Well, Riding Fish said he also had 4 or 5 days of less that 1K after his accident. So
yeah. Yeah, so he I think he broke his shoulder blade bone up there on his shoulder, and then he was checking on something on his motorcycle, and then he got pushed over by a semi that was flying in some weather, I guess. I got to get this guy on. I sent him an email tonight. We'll see if he'll come on and we'll tell a story, because I mean, I'm sure we can still donate in a week or 2 weeks, that kind of stuff, and it's a great story. So. Once again, I don't want to make anything negative out of it. So if you guys get a chance, please donate. And if you can, share this podcast and like it, because we only got 2 likes so far. So,
yeah, because Riding Fish said, my thought is maybe now that he is done and has finished, it's not too late to push his cause.
Yeah.
And Jeff said he yelled, "I am flipping tired," when he dropped it. So.
Yeah, so... I mean, he dropped it. I mean, it's actually, it was good, because like, I'm freaking done. I'm freaking tired. I'm done, and it's, hey, if you're tired and you're done, you're going to be doing the same thing. I just downloaded the map here, and we'll see if that comes up here in a second. Let me go back to.
And Sparky? Yeah, I'm a little under the weather, buddy.
Yeah, she is.
He said,
no.
Are you not feeling well, or is it your mic? No, I've been hacking all day, bud.
Yeah. So
I would like to hear this guy's stories from the road, kind of thing.
I know. It's
what he
be
went
crazy.
through, stuff he ran over, potholes that he hit, people that he met along the way. Did he have any crazy stalkers that looked him up? Stuff like that.
Crazy stalkers? I don't know about that, but but anyway, this is everywhere this guy rode. We'll get this out of the way, Connie, here, so you can see. But this is everywhere this guy rode, and it's amazing. Imagine that, Les. I mean, wow.
Yeah, I can imagine.
And this guy, did this. I mean, for this. I mean, look, he went down to Key West. He went everywhere. He's been almost at every dealership that Indian probably has. I mean, look how many oil changes did you say he had to do? Probably
25 or 26 if he
Yeah.
followed the 5,000-mile rule.
Mhm.
Now, looking at this map, it looks like he covered most of the east-west and north-south interstates pretty well.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, so it's pretty much all interstate roads, which is a good thing. I mean, I always say that they're safer than most roads, but you do have to watch out for people merging and stuff like that. I'm sorry I haven't been going through the channel. I mean the comments.
I've been getting most of them.
You're getting there, but I'm not like putting them on the screen. So
Oh, well, that's mean.
yeah, I know. Let's see if I can catch up here.
You should have a tech person for that.
Yes, but just so you know, Sparky agrees with me. He'd like to hear the stories.
Yeah.
Oh, I think that'd be cool.
Yeah, so hopefully we can get this guy in. Like I said, I sent him the email today. So if you guys go on his Facebook and say, hey, listen, go on the Throttle and Iron podcast, put a comment on there or something.
Yeah, they were talking about you today.
Yeah. I did tell him that we was going to put him on the podcast. So anyway, we still only have 3 likes. We got 12 people watching. So let's get this thing going. All right. Anyway, our goal so far, let's see, as we look at YouTube, we have reached the pinnacle of 663. I told Les that we're getting close to 666, and it'll probably be on Halloween night, and we'll be pretty close. Close, but we are doing the $100 gift card that you guys are just now watching. Let's see, this is a different. I copied this one out of that one, so let me see if I can get this going here. So $100 gift card. Let's see if that works. There we go. I'm getting used to these slides. But anyway, your ride, your way, $100 gift card, either to Amazon or any Rebzil or what's the other one that they own up there? Cycle Gear.
Yep.
Yeah. So it'll be $100 gift card. Once we reach, I think I said 750, if I'm not mistaken, 750. And then after that, it is, or 950. Once we get to 950, that you win the card. And then we go into 1,000. I have to review that. It might be 750 or not.
You might.
Yeah, sorry. My brain's going crazy. But anyway, we will be back.
Shocker.
What a shocker.
Are you still planning on sneaking the money for that gift card out of Connie's account?
It's already gone. She doesn't realize it, but I transferred that money a couple weeks ago, and I'm making sure it's, I'm getting some interest out of it.
Uh-huh.
So,
Dream on, baby, dream on.
So I'll just leave this screen up, and then that's the QR code that goes to his fundraiser, and we'll start talking about some other stuff. If anybody has any questions when they come here, we'll just let them know what it's all about. All right, so we'll go with the trip first. So Les, his wife, and Jennifer, that would be Josh's wife, sorry, and my wife all went on a trip. They called it a woman's trip because us men, we all ride motorcycles and we go on trips all the time, but they wanted to go on their own little trip. So they went to Fort Myers, Florida to have some fun. And the first thing they do, what did they do, Les?
They went to Birch Black Pearl.
Yeah, so they went to, and then they sent us like 500 pictures to make us jealous.
Yeah.
Did it work?
Well,
no, we was hoping you buy a motorcycle, but you didn't do it. But yeah.
Chris, I don't know if you remember or not, but when we started talking about this, all the guys said, we're doing a guys trip and we're going down to the Tail of the Dragon, right?
Yep.
We're going to spend 3-4 days down there, ride the Dragon, ride the hills of Tennessee. And because of vacation availability and people not being able to go, the guys trip actually got canceled.
Yeah.
So we didn't get our guys trip. So I asked Heather, I said, so are the ladies going to go ahead and cancel their trip as well? And she's like, well, heck no. So they went ahead and went. So we got cheated out of the guys trip.
Hey, on the back of your shirt or seat.
All right, go ahead.
Yeah. So we got kind of cheated out of the guys trip, and the ladies went ahead and went. So I'm kind of salty over that.
Yeah.
Salty. I like how you said that. Florida salty.
Oh, by the way, Max, you're not getting a shirt. Anyway,
no, not that one, dude.
But yeah, so they sent us pictures, and I was like, I didn't know Black Pearl was down there. I mean, I've watched some of the podcasts. I've watched some of his videos. I got him on TikTok all the time. And Bert is a hoot. I mean, the guy's crazy. And I was watching because they bought another, they were doing a collab with another motorcycle rider or something like that. They bought this expensive, a flooded motorcycle, and they've been trying to, going to see if it was going to be good to put it back together and that kind of stuff. So they're going to do a total rebuild with a motorcycle that was been in saltwater, I guess. Mm-hmm. So I was watching some of that series, and I was like, wow, this guy's freaking cool. And then you guys go there, and I was like, are you kidding me?
Got offered a beer on tap as soon as we walked through the door.
Yeah, so it sounds like a very great Indian dealership. I'll have to go there and check it out. But anyway, then they went there and they had no water in their their apartment. So this was doomed at the beginning because
it's all
the men should have been there to help you, and they didn't.
We did. We got a guy across the street.
Their day later. Cost them $3,200 to get the water fixed.
I don't know how much it costs.
No, I'm just saying.
I'm sure it probably wasn't cheap. Les might know, but yeah.
I actually don't know the amount, but it turned out to be the well pump. And, the house is in a pretty developed area. I was astonished that the house was on a well.
Mm-hmm.
They're all on a well right there, I was told.
Oh, really?
But, yeah. And most of them have reverse osmosis, but this one does not.
Wow, that's
because they're not there all the time. So
yeah. So the good news story is of course we know the people that own the house, and we're able to make contact with the neighbor. I guess Heather just marched across the street and started knocking on doors.
Yep.
And to try to get some help, and was able to find someone who could come in and replace the well pump and get them back up and running. Was it the second day, Connie? I think you got water.
Yeah, we got it like the second day.
Yeah. So,
but one of the neighbors down the street saw me. They were walking, and I was out there drinking coffee in the morning because, well water has a smell to it, so I couldn't handle the smell. I just wanted to go outside and get some fresh air. Yeah, it's like a sulfur smell. But I wanted to get some fresh air, and I was out there drinking coffee, and I waved at her, and she came up the driveway and introduced herself. I introduced myself, and she goes, "You must not be from here because nobody here sits outside and drinks coffee. It's too hot." So she knew right away that I did not belong there. But now we're lifelong friends, all of us. She offered us showers and even to stay the night until it was fixed. So they were very, very nice people, and now we've made some friends for life.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you ladies went to the beaches too. Yeah, went to a couple different beaches, I think.
Yeah, 3. So it was pretty cool. Went to Sanibel, Captiva.
Jesus.
And I think it was, I'm not sure what the last one was. That was really the first one. Cape Coral, probably.
Cape Coral.
Yeah. Well, I heard rumors about a cabana boy here, so you got to dispel some of that.
His name might have been what? What'd she tell you?
Javier, I think, but he was hired to put suntan lotion on, right?
What?
So Chris didn't know. So now the truth is coming out. They hired a cabana boy to soak him down with suntan lotion.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Too funny.
Oh my gosh. Funny. That's nuts. Let's see here. Gulf of America beaches. Yeah, get it right. All right. That's correct. Welcome to the podcast 859. Welcome. I hope you ain't working too hard. If you are, I hope you're relaxing right now, sitting down, watching us, and drinking a cold one.
Some of those guys tried out some motorcycles.
Yes.
Indian motorcycles when you were there.
Yeah, they did. Well, there's only one. That was actually Brian. I just need to get his interview up too, because I did an interview for him riding the Challenger. And I'll tell you what, there's one thing I got to tell you guys is nonstop working on this podcast. I mean, every day, and I'm not trying to be, trying to talk myself up. I haven't reached any burnout, which is cool, I think. But the thing is that working a full-time job, working 48 hours a week, working weekends most of the time, trying to find time to ride with Les and friends and that kind of stuff, going doing these Indian podcasts and stuff like that. And then, not taking a nap on the couch, which sometimes I do, and that kind of puts me behind very
You hit
much.
that couch, you're done.
Yeah. So I try to go straight downstairs, start working on stuff. I either work on a T-shirt or work on some graphics on the podcast. Or I'm sending out emails for invites for guests. And what my plan is, to give you guys a little hint, is right now, this is like the dog days of summer. This is where I don't really want to do podcasts. And I'm not podcasts, but guest podcasts. And I really want to start back in October and really focusing on the podcast of guests at that time, where it's a little bit colder weather. We'll get more people attention. It's darker. Right now it's still a little bit light. People are still riding. And I want people to have a live experience with these guests and make some chats. So the next couple of weeks, we're going to be talking about fall riding, which is pretty cool, which we're going to be talking about here in a minute, and safety and stuff like that. So hopefully it's not going to be boring. I know I got a bunch of people that's in here that actually are motorcycle trainers, and one's in Florida. I think it's Sparky.
It should be Sparky.
Yeah, Sparky, and he can probably chime in a lot. We also got the trip in October that we're going to be going to Jack Daniel's ride event down there in Tennessee, and that's Jeff. He's the president of IMRG down there, and he's the one that's actually doing the whole entire thing with his team down there. I got to give credit to his team, but it's a lot of work. I mean, I know he's doing a lot of work, but it definitely is a lot of work. And just the balance everything. But the thing I feel more than anything is the fun of doing it, and learning and finding and meeting new people is the best thing about it. So my wife probably wouldn't, if she would have went down to Florida, we wasn't riding motorcycles, my wife would have went down to Florida. Well, actually, I'll take that all back. You would never met Les and Heather. We never would have had a motorcycle. We would never done a podcast. We never would have done anything. And how it starts is with a motorcycle. I mean,
That's true.
That's what it is. It all starts with a motorcycle. And what I challenge people, and one of the reasons why I wanted to do this content tonight about fall riding, and it's about safety and that kind of stuff. But when I was thinking about it today, I was like, people, get scared off about safety and that kind of stuff. So what I'm going to talk about is the buying purchase a little bit in the fall, because you might get the itch to ride a motorcycle, and then you might think, well, fall and winter's coming, then the motorcycle's going to be in the garage and that kind of stuff. You got to buy the damn bike, as Adam Sandoval would say. Buy the damn bike. And then, and get some training. And that's where these guys, Sparky and Josh and all them guys, and Balance Dynamics comes in, because they go year round around here. It doesn't matter if it's 5 degrees outside. They're going to train you how to ride a motorcycle. So, and that's one of the things that you do, but at least riding. And the reason why I wanted to kind of combine this all together, is because a lot of reason why people don't buy a motorcycle is because their next door neighbor, their mom, or their sister, their brother, or their cousin, or somebody at work. And the first thing they say is, I know somebody. And it's not like I don't know somebody that rides it's not like I know somebody that rides a motorcycle. It's like I know somebody, or my next door neighbor, or that kind of stuff. And it's kind of hard to say, because the last couple of weeks, and that's one of the reasons why I actually also came up with this idea, was because we had some fatalities the last couple of weeks, 3 or 4 of them. This year it's been the worst, and it's caused distracted drivers. And I hope you guys understand this. And Florida's probably the worst. You're exactly right. It's distracted drivers, and I don't see really anything. It's almost like politics right now. 2 years ago, politics kind of changed, and people started getting very vocal on both sides of the politics. Right now, the the people that are not vocal are the people who are motorcycle riders. It's like, if you ask somebody, I'm only going to live once and I'm going to, that kind of stuff. We really need to make this a little bit more than just, that little comment. We need to get more motorcycles on the road so people can actually, understand that we're around all the time. So every time they either look for a car or a motorcycle. And it's going to be hard because we're getting ready to go to the winter season where there's only maybe one person in this whole state that's probably riding, and all these cars around here only never see that guy, but hopefully you understand what I'm saying, right, Les? So.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I ride all year long. I don't put the bike in layup at any point in time. If we get any kind of decent weather whatsoever, and there's no salt on the road, I'll be out on the bike going somewhere. This last year, we were able to ride every month out of the year. So, but the population of bikes on the road does get to be very few, especially from about November on. A lot of people just don't like the cold, and they don't have heated grips. They don't have heated seats and lowers and windshields and things that make it a little more tolerable to ride at colder temps.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, definitely. I think people lose focus. I think they get unused to seeing bikes out and about, and you're kind of the anomaly out there, December, January kind of thing.
Yeah. And Sparky brings kind of a big point, which I'll go ahead and talk about right now, is if you're young and you're watching YouTube and you have a little itch for a motorcycle and you start looking up motorcycles and it knows how young you are, it's going to start giving you the young people's kind of channels. And you see these motorcycles going 100 miles per hour, doing wheelies down the interstate, that kind of stuff. In reality, that's probably one or two people that are really good, but they all lay their bike down sooner or later. I mean, it's horrible to say, but they will. All right. And they probably have the equipment. They probably have all this gear. They're not telling people, what you should wear, what kind of boots you have and what kind of gloves you have and that kind of stuff. All they know is when they get on there, they're telling their dad, their mom, hey, listen, I want to get a motorcycle. It's almost like, getting a poo-poo, or not poo-poo.
What in the heck was that?
I'm trying to make sure that you two don't get me on this one. A bang, bang, whatever. You know what I'm saying? Like they wanted to get a long hand gun, that kind of stuff. Poo-poo, pow, pow. Just kidding.
It's a pew-pew.
Oh, my
Pew, 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 pew. There we go. But anyway, I gotta make it fun. I gotta make it fun.
Help me, Les.
But anyway, it's the same thing. The parents are not really happy about it, but they finally do it. They get them a motorcycle, and they go down the road. They learn how to go ride fast. They don't learn how to ride slow. All right, their bikes are really not heavy yet. They're pretty light bikes, so they don't really have to worry about slow riding as much as they do if you have a heavier bike. But, and then they go down the interstate and they're riding, 150, 160 miles per hour. They see people out running cops all the time. They think they can do it. And they ride fast. And it just takes a little bit. It's just a little bit because there's only two wheels. It's not like there's four wheels. It just takes a little nudge while going 100 miles per hour to put you on the other side of the interstate pretty quick.
Well, yeah. they also think they're invincible at that age. And they use that YOLO thing. Mm-hmm. You only live once,
Yeah.
But they don't understand that they're leaving people behind if there's an accident and they get killed. They don't think. They just don't think.
Yeah. And if you get one thing from this podcast or anything that we do is listen, ride smart. All right. Ride the bike that is best for you. Okay. And learn every single day. And how you do that is ride as much as you possibly can. And keep your head on a swivel, as most people say, because you can prevent a lot of things if you're actually aware of what's going on around you. If you're not, and you're like a deer in a headlight kind of riding, and no distractions on the side of the road kind of hit you or make you double take, Power Rangers unite.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. And then you'll have a real nice riding experience, and you'll be riding for a long period of time. And And I think it's what it is. And once you feel like, because sometimes when people ride motorcycle, after a while, they get immune to anything that really affects them because nothing's really ever really challenged them while riding. And then they got kind of complacent, I guess you can say, in like accident awareness because it's never happened to them or they never had that situation happen to them. So we're just going to, they just ride and they start realizing, kind of diminishing their reaction time and stuff like that. And you should be practicing it, right? Every single day. When you go there, you should have your wife with you in the parking lot, walking around or running in front of you. And how do you swerve around her and that kind of stuff? I mean, some certain things that could help you. Because
people need to take classes.
Yeah, take classes.
I mean, if you're a parent and your child wants to ride a motorcycle, I think they should encourage, a class. So you do it with a pew pew.
Yeah.
You take a class to make sure, all that good stuff.
Yeah.
And I just think it's beneficial if everybody takes a class.
I got go ahead.
I say, well, let me ask this, because from my perspective, when I grew up, no one in my household, nobody in my family rode a motorcycle. Nobody, no one. And I can remember being, I don't know, 8, 9, 10 years old, and my neighbor bought a Yamaha 650, took me for a ride around the neighborhood, and I was hooked. From that point forward, wanted to bike. But I didn't have anybody in the family with any kind of experience to teach me, to talk about it. Hey, don't go out and do this because the bike's going to get away from you, anything like that. So this will be for the comments. If you grow up in a motorcycling family, do you think the person has a little better advantage getting into riding earlier on than the person like me who had zero experience? Because when I got out in the bike world, I had 2 speeds. As fast as that freaking thing would go, and oh damn, I had to stop again. And that's just the way that I rode it. I think a lot of people with no experience or real world experience or being exposed to it, I think that's the way they think.
Yep.
Yeah.
And one of the things that's optical, I mean, what you don't realize is going to happen, just like Max, because Max was kind of upset that I had brought this topic up while he was away, because he had an incident that he would have wanted to talk about, and he came around a corner and there was a oil slick there, and he lost control of his motorcycle. And once you hit that, I mean, there's you got a lot of skills, but then it's defensive mode. Really, you're going to slide, and how you prevent yourself getting road rash as much as possible you can is, don't put your foot down, keep them on the footrest as much as you can, keep your legs tight against that motorcycle, and, take that slide as much as you can. And you can control a little bit of a slide, but if you're going too fast, it's pretty uncontrollable. But same thing, if you're going down right now, it's fall time and we have squirrels like nobody's business hunting nuts. And they have, I'm telling you, going around the corner, going about 50, 60 miles per hour because you want to go these, you want to ride nice. You come around there and there's 3 or 4 squirrels in the middle of the road. You're going to hit one of them, and how you react. I mean, your bike, you won't believe what happens to you when you hit a little bit of a squirrel. Your bike will slip underneath you and that kind of stuff. It's really weird what a bike will do because it's only got 2 wheels. If you lose both of your wheels off for a couple seconds, you could be on the other side of the road. It's going to how fast you're going, but it could be an experience that you don't know how to handle.
Yeah, Max is a very experienced rider.
Yes, he is.
So I'm sure he would want to share his story with everybody. But
yeah. So go ahead, I think he was going to say something.
No, I was going to say, I haven't ran over a squirrel, but I have had a rabbit come out and bounce off the side of my bike. I've had birds flying to the front end of it. But probably the largest animal that I've hit to date has been a roadkill raccoon right in the middle of the road. That there was a line of cars and it popped out from underneath the car, and there it was. There was no avoiding it; just went right over the top of it. So that's probably the biggest animal I've hit.
Yeah. So I mean, don't get me wrong, as long as you are focused and you got the volume turned up, Connie.
I know. Hit the wrong button.
Okay. As long as you're focused and you're kind of have your head on the swivel, and you're always looking for stuff, and you're gonna have a good ride. I mean, really, don't worry too crazy, because it's never gonna. I mean, it's most likely not gonna happen. But you want to be ready for anything, okay? And you want to enjoy the scenery. You want to enjoy the air. You want to have some people wear helmets, some people don't. People get injured wearing helmets, and some people, are worse injured if not wearing a helmet. So protection does work. You can go get jeans with padding, armor, and that kind of stuff, and they look like jeans. You can get all kinds of stuff that you can wear for a motorcycle that can actually protect you. I see people wearing flip-flops. I see people wearing shorts. I see people wearing no shirts at all and riding a motorcycle. That's a person that always has that saying that, you only live once. You only live once,
YOLO.
YOLO. All right. But
Okay.
but they don't realize that,
You there?
yeah, that they don't realize that exactly what happens is that nothing. You get what I'm saying?
Well,
That silence.
Yeah.
You are no longer existing.
if you want to see some of the results of riding without the proper equipment, just do a little bit of Google work. You'll see where people have ridden in flip flops, and they just have some bones left for feet.
Yeah.
They get shredded up.
So, once again, comfortably ride your motorcycle. We want you to get a motorcycle, okay? We want you to do it right. If you're 16 and 17 and 18 years old, and you some reason why, for some reason you're watching this podcast, all right? Just ride your ride. Don't go crazy. Learn how to ride, and then you can go faster and go faster. Wear the proper equipment. Understand that, you make it worse for us if you go 100 miles per hour between cars, on an interstate, because every person thinks a motorcycle is the same thing, it's the same person. They think it's the same person, but it's not. But hey, riding a motorcycle is freedom. Really is. I mean, if you've never been on a motorcycle, I can tell you a story. When I was about 12 years old, I went to my neighbor's house, and he had a Honda motorcycle, and it had that long seat. I don't know what it was, but it was a long seat. Anyway, he said, "Hey, listen, you want to take a ride?" So I got on the ride. So we going down this gravel road. It was slipping and sliding. We went down a 2-lane, and then he went on US 50. And if you guys know, it's around Dillsboro. And then he took off, and we were going like 65 miles per hour down the interstate. And I was like, holy cow. This is freaking awesome. It took me 40 years later to ride a motorcycle. All right. So you can start anytime, Yeah. I mean, you can start anytime. And I actually got Harley-Davidson. I went to Harley-Davidson school. And this is what was so great about going to school. When I got on a motorcycle, it was like I learned everything. It came back to me, just like 2 + 2 = 4. Or 5 + 1 = 6. That kind of stuff. You learn that in school. You go to a motorcycle school, and you learn how to ride. And it doesn't matter how many years go by. When you get back on that motorcycle, you learn a lot in the 5 minutes because of what your past was at that school, because what you learned at that school.
Well, you went to a school where it was like 2 days or something.
It was like almost a week.
Was it?
Yeah, because I had to buy rain gear and everything else.
Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, so it was like 3 or 4 days, a Harley-Davidson school. It was the best thing I ever did. But then again, it took me another 10 years to get a freaking motorcycle.
Yeah.
So, but when I got on a motorcycle, I was kind of scared. So I went ahead and bought a, little metric bike, the Vulcan S.
That I'm riding.
And I was like, holy cow, this is, to me, it felt easy, because I rode it before. I mean, I rode before I got training, right? And I was like, wow, this is freaking easy. So I said, this bike is too small for me. Instead of trading it in because I was kind of a little underwater, I went ahead and just bought another bike, less. So that's how I got started. So everybody can do the same thing.
I found a used Kawasaki alongside the road in Lafayette, Indiana for $800 in 1986.
Nice.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. So hopefully this podcast ain't too boring for you. Hopefully we're helping some people out there to actually when they do the replay. But yeah,
I think we've had quite a few good discussions going on in the discussion group too.
yeah,
In the comments. So
yeah, and that's a good thing. And the sad thing about YouTube lives is you don't get to see the comments until the next day. So do me a favor when when you get done with this this podcast, go ahead and put a comment in the actual YouTube comments. You know.
yeah, Sparky, I got asked in Florida by 2 Latino writers. I think their group was called, and they whizzed by me so quick. I thought the car was going to do circles. Then I ended up seeing him down farther at one of the dealerships we stopped at.
Mm-hmm.
He was buying a helmet, so I was like very proud of him for buying a helmet.
Yeah. You know what? I'll tell you another thing, and then this is the other thing is communication. We and Les, I got this actually on videotape a lot. We went to Frankfurt, or is it Frankfurt? We went to Frankfurt, Kentucky, and we went to a restaurant called Bourbon on Main. I didn't drink any, but maybe Les did. But
He drank enough.
no, he didn't. He didn't drink any of it.
I did
But
not.
anyway.
I was on the bike.
So on my way back, I mean, because this is one of the things that to me, because it's a person doesn't wear as much gear as I do, it takes a little bit longer, and this is where the peer pressure comes from to get ready. Because I've got a camera. I'm trying to put the camera in the thing, in the trunk. I'm trying to put my equipment back in the trunk. I don't have my helmet back on. The guy that I'm riding with's already ready to go. He's got his gloves on, so I got my gloves on. I got to get my vest on, and then I put my helmet on. I'm sorry. Then I got to take my gloves back off because I got to put my helmet back on because I can't get the clip back on. All right. So by that time, you're anxious to go because you think this is how I am. Okay. So I got a little bit of anxiety. I'm thinking Les is ready to go. He's already told me 3 times how he's going to go out of the parking lot. You know, so
I did not. I said one time.
It's
That's because
okay.
I went over. I went over and looked at the corner and saw where I could skip the curb and go across the railroad tracks and get on the road I wanted. So
yeah. So we finally get going, and my comms. I use comms, and sometimes I put my speakers on. We talked about, yes, we did. Right, we did that. I'll talk about that here in a second.
Yeah, 'cause he said here's a crazy question. So
Yeah. So, I've been practicing that. So we're on our way, and I finally got everything going, and then I got my comms going because I'm trying to listen to some music, but my Spotify's playing in actually on the Challenger, and I don't want to go on the Challenger because I got a helmet. You can't hear hardly anything with the helmet. It's one of them really quiet helmets. So I'm fooling around with the phone to get Spotify to turn onto my Bluetooth device, which I'm going to make a video because I found out how to do that today, where it makes it the default device. So I'm going to do a video here in a couple days which shows you how to go into Apple settings and default the phone to a Bluetooth device. So I'm going to check and make sure that works. But anyway, so we're going down the road, and I realized, like, did I put my camera in the trunk, or did I leave it on the back of the seat? Because I remember sitting it there. So we're going down the road, and I'm trying to get Les's attention, and he doesn't have comms. He wears a half helmet. He can get comms. We're going to probably work on that, hopefully. But anyway, so I have no way to really get him. So there's no town for another 15 miles. So we're riding in Mexico doing about 115, and I finally get to a stoplight, and we finally get to a stoplight, and I get to the side and say, pull over. I gotta check on something. So I was like, this is a $700 freaking camera that I'd probably just lost on the freaking thing. I open the trunk. Guess what? It's in the trunk. So we took off. But some, like what I said is like, hey, listen, ride your ride. I know that people are probably anxious. And they're probably like, oh my God, how much? I mean, hurry up, let's go. We got to get back. Daylight, the sun was going down. It was getting a little darker. We got to get going. We got another hour, everything else. Do yourself a favor. If you wear the gear, wear the gear. Do not sacrifice time to put the gear on because you feel pressured to. You know, you're going to get there one way or another. Just get there safe. And that's one of the things. That's the story I wanted to talk about. And Les never knew any of this until right now. So what's your results?
Right.
What's your thought process there, Les?
You're right. You know, I was not in a hurry whatsoever
Mm-hmm.
at all. You know, I was just out there enjoying the evening, and I knew you had to get some stuff put together. So I just kind of expect that because of all the gear that you carry and,
Mm-hmm.
you know, with the cameras and batteries and all the stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So I just kind of expect it. You know, I'm a little quicker study on that. I just throw my stuff on and I'm ready to rock and roll.
See, we're all used to waiting on you.
Let's be quiet. But what the point? What the point?
I wasn't in a hurry at all. Not at all.
Yeah. So what the point is, this is what's going through my mind, even though reality is different. And what I'm saying is, just put your hand over the mouth on the mic and just put it closer to your mic. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. Anyway, like, never mind.
Shut up.
I'm just kidding. The point of the story is, this is what's going through my mind, even though reality is totally different. I feel that this is probably what's going on. So I'm trying to get done as quickly as possible. So I'm not relaxed. I'm kind of anxious. And then when you get on the bike, you could be anxious also. The story is, hey, everybody's thinking different than what you are. Don't think that a person is waiting on you and they're getting upset and that kind of stuff. They're probably not. And that will help you out, you know, in the future. Is that just, you know, don't take forever. Don't take your helmet and just go like this, you know, and then finally get it on top of your head and that kind of stuff, and then try to adjust it, that kind of stuff. I mean, but take your time, get your gear, make sure it's right, make sure you didn't forget anything, and have a nice, safe ride home, you know.
Well, Chris, you know, from now on, when I got to wait on you, I'll just kick back up on the seat like this.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, there you go. And that even make me more, it'll give me more anxiety. I'll have to wake you up.
Oh my gosh.
Anyway, so when we were at the what racetrack was that up in Mid Ohio? So Riding Fish was up there, and I was riding with Riding Fish for a couple of days, and he realized that there were some things I was doing wrong, like when taking off and not using my brake, you know, as being, you know, a pressure point with the clutch and that kind of stuff. I can't remember exactly what that's called. The friction zone with your brake and that kind of stuff.
Throttle.
Yeah, load the throttle and
like
into the brake. So I got to get used to that because a lot of people don't know this about me. Is I think I should have been left-handed when I was young, but I was forced to right-handed. So I've always used my right hand, but I kick with my left hand. So my left foot is actually more dominant than my right foot is. So it takes a little bit more time to get used to using the brake as that, because I've only been riding for 3 years now, and I'm learning every day. But I've been practicing the brake because, you know, Riding Fish said, hey, listen, do you use your brake? That, you know, you should be using your brake when you're doing that clutch. And I realized, yeah, he's exactly right. I should be using that. So I learn every day. So just like probably Les, he's been riding for 25 years. And I'm sure he's learned new stuff, you know.
I learn something new every time that I go out, every single time.
Yeah.
You know, and it's funny too, because some days I ride better than other days.
Mm-hmm.
When I rode this last weekend, when the girls were on their trip, I rode over to Madison, Indiana, and rode 62 back across. And for whatever reason, I struggled on the turns. I don't know why. You know, usually I just whip right through there and don't have any problem. But there are some days where I find that I ride better. I'm more at ease and you know, have no problems. But some days I lose my concentration. I don't, you know, look ahead like I should, and you know, I struggle a little bit. So not every day is going to be the same either.
Yeah, you know, and that's the same way with me. It's like sometimes starting out is a little bit slower than normal, you know, because I haven't rode for like 2 weeks or something like that. And then once you get going, I mean, it was like that day when we went to that trip. I was kind of like nervous and shaking a little bit. I don't know why when I first started riding. I mean, at that time, and then once I got on the road and, you know, got a couple curbs in me, I was like, wow, I'm good to go. And then we had the race in Mexico with that chieftain, and yeah. Hey, if you're watching the podcast and you live over in you know, Hebron, I'm not well, actually Union and what is it, Boone County, Hey,
I don't know. Somewhere out on 42. Don't be a jackwagon and pass people and go slow.
yeah.
There you go. There you go.
Yeah, there you go. But yeah, go ahead.
You need they're in a conversation up through here that you might want to
Okay. Well, go ahead. Tell us
talk
what it is.
about. Like right there, Writing Fish says we talk about training for slow speed training and practicing that, but what about track days with a coach?
Yeah.
And if you go down further, they were in a conversation, which is a good topic. You know, is it beneficial? Like, see, Sparky said that he doesn't promote track days
Yeah. And he's a
because he said that's when we get the YOLO groups.
yeah.
After they party, they ride more dangerously
Mm-hmm.
from what they have learned at the track. And then, you know, Chris Marty is like, I'm with Fish. I'm all for track days. So they've got a good conversation
Well,
going.
it's you know, okay. So here's a difference, and maybe to get the concept here, and I'm gonna be what it is that some people have a little bit of a itch, okay, and where they want to go fast,
right.
and a track is, you know, a pretty nice. I mean, when you go to King of the Baggers, you get that itch, okay,
Right.
or you would like to go on a track. You don't want to do it on interstate. You don't want to do it on the road. You feel much better, much safer on a freaking track. And having people train you how to ride like that. Now, some people could see that and say, well, you can use that riding skill and do it on the interstate and do it on the roads, in which a young jackwagon probably could do that, you know what I'm saying? And probably abuse what they what they learned you know, in these things. But in my thing, I would love to learn how to ride on a track and not do it professionally, but do it on a track, not on the on an interstate or on a highway, and just have fun. I mean, like we were up there talking about where we would rent a whole entire day. It's like $65,000 to rent Mid Ohio. It's a track. It's you know, 2.4 miles around. It's got some straightaways and stuff like that. I mean, I would think you would have to have the equipment, the suit to wear and that kind of stuff. If you really want to
Look
go,
at what they wear.
yeah,
You know,
it's like experience.
well,
that
it's a contained environment as
yeah,
well.
contained environment and an experience that you can't find anywhere else. And I think that's what you know, Riding Fish and Gator, not Gator Mike, but Chris Marty and all that guys saying, because we got to go around the track in Mid Ohio. Chris, I wish you would have went to Road America. We got to go around 3 times. Mid Ohio, you only got to go once, and you didn't even go on the straightaway. So it was kind of disappointing because you wouldn't be able, because you know your limits, okay? You know how much treads on your motorcycle because you should be checking it before you get on it. And you get to go on that track, and you get to have a little fun and knowing, you know, that you're going to what you can do, right? So, but yeah, I think that's what they're trying to say. I don't think they're, you know, want to do it on the highway and that kind of stuff, but some of that stuff can bleed over there on the highway in case something, you know, pulls out in front of you and that kind of stuff. You could move your bike a lot faster since you know how to lean like crazy on a racetrack. So to get out of the way of a vehicle. So yeah, or get into a slide because, you know, there we go. Hopefully that sums it up a little bit better. So anyway.
Down at the bottom, Sparky.
I'm not against track days as long as the riders ride responsible after attending. I pick up many bodies and broken bikes from the road, irresponsible riders. So if people don't know who Sparky is, he's a accident investigator and he's also a motorcycle
Safety trainer.
safety trainer. So yeah, he's been through a lot of that. So
He's seen a lot.
he sees more than what we do.
Yes.
All right. So he gets called to the scenes. We just ride by him. And most of the time we don't even ride by him. We don't even see him. We just hear about him on the news. He's there, every one of them. So.
Yeah, to investigate.
Yeah,
and
so that's
like-
the difference between Sparky.
there we go.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
We take our motors down to the Homestead Speedway
Mm-hmm.
once a year. I've taken those turns at high speeds in the rain and have video.
Yep.
Yeah.
So at the end of the day, get the bike. All right. Have some fun. Do it safely. Ride at your skill level. Get some education with a motorcycle, and maybe go to a motorcycle school. There's a bunch of them in our area. Balance Dynamics. Josh and Jennifer are both trainers. Sparky down in Florida. He's a trainer somewhere down there. But I'm sure there's a place somewhere around you, if you're watching us, to get some class training on a motorcycle, guaranteed.
Doesn't matter how experienced you are.
And
a class is always good.
and listen, if you're going to pay, $200 for a helmet, $60 for gloves, maybe boots, $160. Right there is how much a class costs. It's not much. It's $300 to $500. All right. So, all right. Rubberneckers.
Rubberneckers, yeah.
All right. So what do you got, Les? You got anything?
No, man, I think it's been a pretty good podcast. Actually, we covered a lot of stuff, and I would like some feedback in the comments on if people ride better some days than others.
Yeah, and do that, and if you could do that, save that for after this podcast is done, and do that in the YouTube comments. The more comments we get, the better it is. I know it was kind of it was on the spot. We wanted to talk. I wanted to talk more about, but I think the cause for Vroom is very important, especially for Indian riders. And one thing I did. And we both noticed this, okay, because we're kind of basically kind of an Indian motorcycle podcast, okay, but we do have Harley-Davidsons on, and that kind of stuff. Is when we were riding to Frankfurt, we got passed by a chieftain going about 100 miles per hour, okay, and then he was going about 200 after that, somewhere in Mexico, and we were trying to catch up. And it was almost like me and Riding Fish up in Columbus. All I kept on seeing, it was a motorcycle that kept on getting smaller and smaller. Eventually, he disappeared in the dust. But it was really fun. And there was one time that we hit a rough patch in the highway that my motorcycle went off the ground, all two wheels. And I know you did too, Les. All right, but at least it was a straight patch, and then we that's when reality sank in, and that's when we kind of went back to our roots and motorcycle skills. But it was fun. I mean, you can have fun on a motorcycle. I'm telling you, folks. And sometimes you're in that what do you call it, groove. Where nothing can, you think you're invincible, but it could just be a split second. Something could change in the seconds. But that's what I'm saying. Just realize that I was observant enough to see the patch of road, knew it was going to happen, and did countermeasures to make sure that I didn't have any issues. And I'm sure you probably did the same thing. You remember that little spot there, Les?
Oh yeah. Yeah. It about bounced you right out of the seat, man.
Yeah, it did.
It was this big dip in the road, and then it bounced right back up. Yeah, it lifted you right up when you came out of it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and another thing also, if you're looking to buy a motorcycle, look at dealerships, because Sparky said, dealers promote additional bike training. Yes, they do. A lot of them do. But the one thing I was going to tell you about the story was, we saw a Scout, a Chieftain, another Indian motorcycles. They're getting out there, man, and they're getting more and more of them on the road. So I know it's it's a challenge, to go to any bike night to see an Indian. But we went to a couple bike nights, and there was about 8 motorcycles that were Indians there, all different kinds. People coming looking at your motorcycle and saying, what kind of motorcycle is that? That kind of stuff. So Indian is getting more popular as we speak. All right, let me go through some of these comments here. Let's see what they say here about your story here. All right. What's this one about? Chris Marty. What's that one, Connie?
What?
That's over here.
I scoop up a lot of crashed bikes as well. I think what you learn on the track can help you be a better rider. However, the rider needs to have the ability to not push those limits on the road.
Exactly. I agree. Riding Fish says person.
Well, he's got up there. So because they could go fast, but there is people that will go fast and have no experience or teaching, that feels just as bad. I think a person will push their limits if they are that type of person.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
All right. And then Sparky goes out here. Chris, what's that one there?
Chris, I'm right there with you, and I agree. But once those riders are let loose, then what, if anything, did they learn? How to ride faster and handle their bikes at higher speeds?
Yeah.
So, yeah, I mean, they both have a valid.
Yeah.
This is a really great topic.
Mhm.
They both have valid points here.
Yeah. And I think
next podcast, that's what we'll be talking about, man.
Yep.
Should we go to track days or not?
They're writing that one down.
Yeah, maybe. I mean, yeah, we can talk about that. I think. All right. So everybody has their own opinion and their own thought process, their own decision making, and sometimes the way they were brought up, some people don't make the correct decisions. I think and I wish you could say, well, let's do a little test. And whoever passes the test, this is the people who get to go track day. All right. But you can't do that. You can't separate people and that kind of stuff. So you're going to have the stupid, dumb people, and you're going to have the really highly educated people that ride the motorcycles. And when they leave that place and they use that track day to their advantage to make stupid decisions, then that's the reason why there's these wrecks on the road. I mean, it's not always that. I mean, but the ones that are going 120 miles per hour down the interstate and they hit a overpass because it was on a curve and they find themselves on the other side of the interstate on the ground, 60 foot down. That's probably their fault,
Yeah, who's having the accidents here?
Yeah.
The more experienced, the more, I don't know, the inexperienced rider?
Well,
or the more experienced rider who's just acting crazy?
No, there's a lot of distractions because you got so much. You got people that don't pay attention. They're doing FaceTime on their phones while driving. They're doing text messages. They're looking down, trying to navigate their GPS. There was a video that I saw the other day where there was two cars, and one was a lady with 3 kids in a van, and there was another lady with 3 girls from high school, and one was texting her mom saying she's going to be home in 30 seconds. So the text was pretty long. So both cars stop in time. The driver gets out and the mother gets out. They meet and they say, hey, listen, can you look up? You're going to kill my kids. And the other person is like, I'm almost done with my text and I can't stop my text. That kind of stuff. They both get back in the car, head on collision, bam. That's how fast it is. You don't have time to actually negotiate. You see somebody not paying attention, they're coming in your lane. You are trying to figure it out what's going to happen. 95% of the time, you don't have time to actually correct. And that's where the issue is. Distracted drivers cause a lot of this. Then you have the crazy kids that don't pay attention and think they're invincible. They never had a wreck yet. And then we've been riding for a year and a half. They've been going simply fast. I mean, they've been going crazy fast. They think they're good at it. They've never had a car switch lanes in front of them, and cause them to have an accident. It only takes a split second to have that happen, So anyway, what was this about Chris here?
I would prefer to have the tools in my toolbox to possibly get me out of situations that not both schools have their points.
Yeah, I think he's completely right. I think you both are right, 100%. And we're not here to we're a family, okay? Most motorcycle people are family. Anybody who's watching this podcast is pretty much family. I think what he is saying, all right, is that yes, he thinks it's a good idea for track days and everything else, but the people that take that and use it on the highway to outrun cops, outrun this, and go extremely speed, that makes it get a black eye. Even though the one eye is perfect, the other one's still got a black eye because people still do that. And that's where some people say we shouldn't do track days because of this, because of the side effects of somebody taking advantage of the training. And I completely understand, but I think you can't stop the training. Even though you want to, I think people should have that freedom to be able to do it. So there you go. And, our taxpayer money is the one to clean up just like Chris Marty, what he does, our taxpayer money is for a good cause. People break down, tires, that kind of stuff. But when a person is neglective, I guess you can say, or what is that word I'm thinking of, where they don't care, they cause the accident, and that our taxpayer money is going to a cause that should never happen because the guy should never been on the road. All right. So that base, I can see both sides, but the problem is that you guys are both right, but we can't stop it. So
I think the word you're looking for is negligent.
yes. Thank you. I 100% agree. All right. So if you haven't liked this podcast, please do so. All right. If you haven't subscribed, please do so. We like doing these content all the time where we're talking about safety and bringing these topics up. Because there's a lot of I see a lot of podcasts out there where they're just talking about, motorcycle parts, giveaways, or any comment that they talk away and they talk about 1,000 things. We are kind of focused on a certain topic, and we're trying to make sure it helps and benefits other riders. So that's a good thing about this podcast. All right, Les, what do you got?
Oh, I don't know, man. We've talked about it a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Lots of good points. To your point. Both sides of that coin are correct. There are reasons for and reasons against for each one, but no, it's a lot of good content tonight.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
we get into some really good discussions here.
Yeah, and you got to see it on both sides because, and I can't say it enough, and I don't want to go back into it, but if you have somebody that sees it, it's like a person that gets burned out. If you see it so many times, you're kind of burned out to the other side of things because because it becomes reality where it's like every single person it happens to, but in reality it's not. And then you got the other person that wants to learn to be a better rider and that kind of stuff, and yes, it gets overshadowed by our perception sometimes.
Everybody has different perspectives here.
And I think we can't take that away from a person that wants to learn that, but then again, if it's somebody that's not able to comprehend that, hey, listen, you shouldn't use this on the roads, and this is going to cause you to kill yourself faster. That's a totally different story. But anyway, I thank you guys for coming here on the discussion. I really appreciate you guys, and it's a good conversation. And I'm telling you, you both sides are pretty much right. But once again, we have to make sure that we don't restrict what we can do. All right. That's the thing that we have to do tonight. All right, guys, I appreciate y'all. Please comment after this show. Please like this podcast. We only got 8 likes. We got 13 people watching.
Subscribe, please.
Subscribe if you can. And we're on our way to 1,000. And also put in the comments what do you think our next podcast should be about. And hopefully this guy right here, let's talk about him one more time. The Farmer Dollar and Pat fighting whatever that there's no way I could be able to say that.
What I said?
Yeah. On his
the myotonic.
Yeah, let me refresh it and see if he's made any more money yet. Let's see.
Myotonic.
Yep. Hey, he's made a little
dystrophy.
bit, almost like $500. So yeah, since we've been on the podcast.
MDF.
Sweet.
All right, and I'll be donating tonight. Everybody have a good night. We're gonna get off here.
You guys were awesome. Thank you very much.
Yep. It was a great time, everybody. Thanks for joining in.
Yep. Appreciate everybody. Oh, Reds lost tonight, 11-9.
Of course.
Surprise.
Surprise. Yeah. We appreciate you guys. Thanks.
Yep.